We have a dilemma, or possibly two. The first is, which fuse box do we install? The second is, do we use the motor cam or buy an 𝗖𝙑𝙯 or 𝗔𝙯 system? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rider Ramblings. Today we're looking at the parts which we're going to replace and the new toys we're going to install. Before we get to the toys, let's look at the replacement parts which came with all the way from Yamaha in Japan at about 1/3 of the price you can buy them from Yamaha in Europe. The cowling arrived in this box, which was inside another, larger box that contained the new stay. The cowling is well protected with a type of quilted paper and polythene polystyrene wrapping. It survived the trip, which is surprising as it's really fragile. The stay came with the cowling in the larger box and was well protected with polystyrene and the little airbag thingies. It's quite heavy. The mirrors attached to these parts and one has broken off. It seems that this is a common problem and some people just glue it back together. I may get it brazed or use JB Weld to reattach it. We'll see. I need to dismantle the whole of the front end to attach this stay, which is a good opportunity to do some other work at the same time. So what's the problem with the fuse box? Well, as with all bikes, there's limited space available under the seat. Although there is sufficient space under the FJR seat for the fuse box and the camera control box, the control box for the camera isn't waterproof. This severely limits where it can be positioned. This is because when washing the bike and in very heavy rain, water does find its way under the pillion seat and down by the rear of the tank. This leaves just the area above the electronic suspension control unit, which is also the best place to site the Dinelli fuse box. Luckily, I also have an 𝗪𝗓𝗵𝗲 fuse box, which is smaller. I need to do some checking, which I will do while the fairing is off, but the 𝗪𝗓𝗵𝗲 fuse box might well be able to be positioned next to the battery or near the ECU. This would leave under the seat clear. The other option is to get an 𝗖𝙑𝙯 or a 𝗔𝙯 or some other camera system like the 𝗕𝗏𝗃6 or N1. So no control box is required under the seat. I'll make a decision once I've taken the fairing off and looked at the placement options for the fuse box. Near the battery would be best, in my opinion. So, what toys have you fitted to your bike? Please let us know in the comments below. Are they good? Are they bad? Do you like them? What would you do differently? Right, let's have a look at the toys. The Denali fuse box is small and would easily fit on top of the electronic suspension unit. The cables look long enough to reach the battery, though it doesn't come with either fuses or connectors. Just cable ties, Velcro and a wire tap. The plus points are it is really easy to install. It has space for 6 accessories and you can decide which will be unswitched, directly wired to the battery, and which will be ignition switched. More about this later. If I can mount it near the ECU or battery, unlikely, this would be ideal. The 𝗪𝗓𝗵𝗲 fuse box has places only for 3 accessories. It comes with everything you need to install it, including fuses, connectors, etc. It has 1 unswitched circuit, the 2 red cables, and 2 switched. The cables are much shorter, so better suited to being near the battery. You do need to be a bit more competent to connect everything up though. The Motocam is one I bought very many years ago, probably 8, as a replacement for the Bullet Cam which packed up on the Deauville. It was never installed, probably due to laziness on my part. It's very well specified with a 1080p front camera, 720p rear camera, GPS unit, and a wired controller for the handlebars, which I probably won't connect. The main unit has a screen which you can view footage on and make changes and do all of that. It comes with everything you need to wire it up, including a USB test lead so you can check it before you install it. I have two SparkBrite battery voltage indicators. Now these are amazing little pieces of kit, absolutely fantastic. The 𝗪𝗔𝗃 is tiny, and you might just be able to see the control unit on part of the wire. I also have the 𝗪𝗔𝗃, which is a little bit bigger. I'm going to try and install this in the instrument binnacle, but not going to guarantee it. The LED spots are exactly the same ones I had on my 𝗪𝗏𝗏, and they worked really well. They aren't needed for the FJR, as the headlights are LED and excellent. The main reason for fitting them is to make myself more visible when filtering. They are small and should fit under the tip-over wings on the front fairing. I've made up a wiring loom for them and found a very small illuminated switch which I'll mount near the glove box. I shall also install the PowerLink pigtail directly to the battery, unswitched. It comes with a USB socket which I may or may not use. Lastly, I have an old 𝗪𝗔𝗍 brake light flasher. This isn't for LED lights, so it may not work on the FJR. I might not install it. I'll give it a test and we'll see. I'm hoping that'll only take me a day to do everything, but I know from bitter experience that Sod's law applies, and it'll probably take me much longer. I have already coated the cowling with matte ceramic coating. It's not in these pictures, I did it after that. So we should be good to go tomorrow, and everything should be finished by the time this video comes out. So please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.